Awesome. Thank you, and good afternoon. It's great to see you all here. So today, I'm going to talk about Alfresco Intelligence Services and what we're doing to simplify the use of AI and make it a bit more practical. So when companies and businesses approach AI, they're faced with three common hurdles. The first hurdle is around credibility of AI. Is this hype? And do I really have a need for it? The second hurdle is expense of implementation. What is this going to cost me? And the third hurdle is the complexity of implementation. How are we going to make this work? And do we have the right expertise? So I'm going to show you how you can clear these hurdles with Alfresco Intelligence Services. So let's talk about hurdle number one. Earlier today, Alan noted, we're in a time of massive growth, massive change, and massive confusion. So one of the areas this is more apparent in is data. Data is growing and changing exponentially. Consider this. In 2018, we generated 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. To give you a visual representation, that's roughly 4 Eiffel Towers worth of Blu-ray discs stacked on top of each other. Forbes predicts that 90% of all data ever created was generated in just the last 2 years. And it's estimated that by 2020, there will be 1.7 megabytes of data created per person per second. Whoa. So, all right, we know the future holds a lot of data. And as we've heard a lot, it's not about big data, it's about good data. IDC estimates that 10% of all data is structured. Structured data is good data. We can get it to work for us. However, that means that 90% of all data isn't structured. That means is we can't easily derive value from it. And what's not known can't protect us. We can't protect that data. We can't protect it through things like access control, through retention policies, through disposition management, and in turn, it can't protect us from regulatory compliance issues. It can't help us be quick to respond to e-discovery requests. GDPR alone this year has cost companies close to $400 million in fines. And finally, unstructured and inaccessible data can't provide us with insights. For the typical Fortune 1000 company, baseline reports that a 10% increase in data accessibility can result in over $65 million additional revenue. Wow. So we can see that there's a real need, and we can see that AI can help address that need by turning this big data into good, accessible data that can work for you. So now let's talk about hurdles 2 and hurdles 3. Building an AI solution for a business, it can be expensive, and it can be time-consuming, and it is complex. It does require specialized skills, and they're in demand. And on top of that, it distracts you from your core business. So when businesses look to implement AI, there are 3 major considerations that are taking place. First, you have to connect your business to the AI. You got to train it. Second is the inbound configuration. You You have to make use of these AI outputs into your business language. And the third thing to consider is maintaining all of this, supporting these configurations, and making sure they're compatible and upgraded. So now let's look at Alfresco Intelligence Services and how the picture sort of changes. So with Alfresco Intelligence Services, we package your outbound configuration with your inbound configuration, making sure these AI outputs, they are easily mapped meaningfully to your business language. And on top of that, we maintain it, we support it, and we make sure it's upgraded and compatible. And as you'll see, we're continuously adding functionality to it. Also, it's not just this. You also get the full power of the Alfresco platform. You get content enrichment, which automatically puts knowledge around that unknown 90%. You get insights-driven process, so you can take relevant action to that 90%. And to add, you get invisible governance. You can now automatically protect that 90% as needed, and in turn, have it protect you. So now I'll show you kind of where we've been and where we're looking to head. So our first release was earlier this year in April, and that release was focused on allowing customers to derive greater value from their content. So this was done through automated metadata generation, and this was done through NLP analysis and image analysis. Our next major release is scheduled for this autumn, and we will be building upon that initial release. And it will allow customers to derive additional value through custom ML models. And these are defined by the customer, and in turn, it allows greater focus on their specific business entities. For examples, customers would now be able to automatically identify PII information and automatically assign the appropriate retention policies on that. Also, with the use of custom ML models, customers can also derive value through content classification. So an example would be identifying the type of document type you have and automatically classifying that in the appropriate file plans. Now, this would enable customers to tackle large repositories of unknown data. So looking forward, we plan to include rich media. So this entails automatic indexing and metadata generation of audio and video files. As an example, for insurance claims, for reported incidents that are in supporting videos, you could automatically identify where incidents are occurring and sort of at what time. Now, a look into some of our future releases. They may include empowering customers to enhance their consumer experiences. So this may include support for multimodal UIs, to enable features like voice-driven consumer onboarding and digital assistance. And also further enhancing invisible governance. So this would be automatic access control based on file types. So we would love to hear more about your needs and see how we can evolve our roadmap. And now, I'd like to leave you with one question. What are you going to do with your 90%? Thank you.